Hi guys, how are you? How's everybody doing? Welcome to our Friday Night Live. Glad you could make it. As you're coming in, please give me a hello and let me know who you are so I can say hello back to you and welcome you. I hope you have some water, tea, wine, coffee, whatever it is you like to drink, and relax because we're talking about that sensitive subject, but even a hair more sensitive than we spoke about on Tuesday. Hi, Linda. We're talking about what if your child is the bully? And this is kind of sensitive because a lot of people don't want to admit that it could be possible. Hi, Angela. How are you? So while people are hopping on and before we get started, I want to just tell you who I am. So I am Celia and I'm a family empowerment coach. Simply put, I'm here to empower you parents with tips, strategies, and techniques that can really create family harmony in your house. I'm on a mission to change 1 million families from yelling at their kids. Hi, Glenda. How are you? So we're going to get started with bullying part 2 because we were graced with Glenda's husband on Tuesday, bullying part 1. And if you didn't catch that live, guys, check it out on the replay. It's posted on my page, on the Pumped Up Parenting page. It's posted all over because he had some great, valuable information that he brought to the table for you parents. Now, today we are going to talk about the possibility that your child could be a bully. I mean, after all, guys, let's think about this for a minute. It takes two to tango. So someone is the bully and someone is the bullied. So, of course, we don't want our kids to be either role, but if, God forbid, someone is bullying, we are hoping that our child is not the bully. But reality is sometimes our child is the bully. And they may not even be aware. If they're really young, they may not know that they're bullying. They may have heard something. They may have teamed up with some people that are not so wonderful and kind of went along with the gang, so to speak, which is not what we want them to do, but it's very possible that's what happened. So, and also remember that if your child is in a situation where they are bullying someone, it doesn't mean they're going to be a bully for life. It may be they just made an incorrect choice in choosing whether to be involved or not be involved. And certainly with our help and others' help, we can get them turned around on it. But let's talk about if you're hearing rumors through the grapevine, through the school, somebody is telling you that your child has been bullying people. Hi, Courtney Ann. You know, clearly it's words no parent wants to hear, but it may just happen. Doesn't mean your kid's a horrible child. Doesn't mean you're a horrible parent. All it means is that something kind of went wrong and we need to look at it, examine it, and fix it. We need to move along and get this solved. Don't just immediately think, oh, my child could never be a bully. He is the nicest child. She is the nicest child. She would never do this. I hate to tell you, somebody has to, or bullying wouldn't exist. So somebody, some wonderful parent's child, some wonderful child is bullying someone somewhere. And if you hear the rumors that it could be your child, it's time to really dive in and take a look. Hi, Shambrel. How are you? Thank you for joining me, guys. And share this out because, this is our last week of Baby Safety Month, which we have, expanded into Kids Safety Month because they're all our babies, aren't they? And we really want to solve this bullying issue. It's a hot topic. It's been a hot topic forever, but it's even more a hot topic because, to tell you the truth, there's so many more ways that a child can bully someone else. and we really need to be aware of what's out there. We talked a lot about that with Officer Keith on Tuesday. We have cyberbullying, we have face-to-face bullying, we have schoolyard bullying, we have bullying in the neighborhood, we have bullying at home. And a lot of times we don't want to admit that either, but a lot of kids that bully are bullied in their very own home. Hi, Susan. How are you? So, we're going to talk about 14 things that will help you decide if your child is possibly bullying someone else and what you can do about it. And what are the signs that may show you? Hey, Nick. You're welcome. Hi, Cheyenne. Okay, so first, I lost my thought. I do that a lot, don't I? Okay, so let's just get into it, and I'm sure it'll come back. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. At the end of this, we're going to do question and answer. So if you have questions about anything, hopefully bullying, but if you have something else you need to ask, I'd rather stick to topic. But if you need to ask me something else and it's a quick answer, I'll be happy to answer you. Otherwise, you know, guys, you're always welcome to private message me, email me. My email, there's my email. You know, reach out to me anyway. Go into Pumped Up Parenting, make comments, post something in Pumped Up Parenting. You can reach out to me. But if you guys have questions, I will try to address them at the end, unless they are pertinent to what I'm talking about. Chime in, guys. The more the merrier. Okay. So, number one, and this is a lesson you should have through life and you should be teaching your kids. Thanks, Nick. Peace out, baby. Don't assume. This relates to everything, but it especially relates to bullying. Don't assume it's not your child, because it may be. Don't assume that your child is not being bullied, because they may be. Don't assume. If you're hearing rumors, if you're hearing people telling you things, then talk to your child. Sometimes I'm not telling you it's going to be easy and they're just going to come out and go, oh yes, as a matter of fact, I bullied that child. I know. I shouldn't have, but I did. Probably won't go that smoothly. You may have to really be calm, ask some direct questions, specific questions. Don't just say, hey, by the way, I heard you're a bully. Are you a bully? Because, you know, that's going to get you nowhere. So ask direct questions, don't assume, and spend calm time talking to your child, okay? You want to ask them things like, once you have come to the conclusion that, yes, they were bullying someone else, you want to ask them something like, why did you feel the need to act that way towards that person? Did something happen? Was there no way to speak kindly to them and kind of discuss what was going on? Maybe something made them mad, but then you want to help them learn how to handle their anger, their aggravation, things like that. Number two, do they seem to get into fights a lot? At home, at school, at the playground, in the park? Do they seem to be the aggressor in fights? Because that's a sure sign that there's some bullying tendencies there. If you notice they're sitting there and they're getting into a fight with someone else, and there doesn't really seem a call for it, I mean, not that there's really a call for fighting at all, but sometimes other kids are the aggressors. Then you want to address that. Okay. Do they seem to be befriending the wrong kids? The kids that are the bulliers, seem to be the troublemakers. Is that who they seem to be leaning towards? You may want to address that. You know, it's kind of hard with older kids to say, you cannot see this person, because what happens a lot is it reverses and they wind up seeing them anyway to just spite you. Little kids, you have more control over that. so you can really be observant. What's going on? How's your child acting? Who are they playing with? Who are they not playing with? All that stuff. Observe your children. Be attentive. Tune in. Tune in to what's going on, regardless of their age. Just because they're a teenager doesn't mean you don't have the right to check out what's going on in their room, on computers, on their phone. You have total right to check all that out. After all of that is a privilege. If they don't want you to look at their phone, are they paying for their phone? Probably not. And if you're really concerned, like I recommended on Tuesday, get a flip phone. They don't have to have a smartphone. Okay. Talk to your school counselors. That is their job. Their job is to help counsel you, help counsel the kids. That is what they're in school for. Take advantage of it. If you need to, talk to the teachers, talk to the administrators. Volunteer more in your school so you're hanging around and seeing what's going on. Your child will probably conform more to a proper behavior if you're always there. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to bully right in front of you. Well, I would hope not, at least. Now, this is a big one, guys. Aren't I always so fidgety? I'm so fidgety. And this is like one of those, take a long look in the mirror, see what's going on. What is going on in your home? Is your partner, your husband, your wife, are they the type of person that tends to bully their kids? Are you calling them names? Are you labeling them? Are you giving them a hard time regardless of anything? Are you hitting them? Are you screaming at every moment? Are you bullying them? That's all bullying. Shem Brown, my daughter tends to scream at other kids at school for no reason. And I always ask the question towards her teacher, why is she yelling at them like that? She wasn't doing that before she got here. I'm so confused on what's going on. Shem Brown, I'm seeing this question towards, and you asked her teachers, but not her. You really want to sit down and talk to her because you're going to get the most directive answer from her. Just tell her what you think. Give her compliments. When you're at home, when you're around, you speak so kindly, you're compassionate, and then you go to school and you're screaming and yelling at everybody. What's upsetting you? Something is clearly upsetting her. Acknowledge her feelings, which is one of the things, so we'll talk about it now. Acknowledge their feelings. If they are bullying someone or screaming at someone, they're reacting to something they're feeling. They're getting defensive. Did someone say something to them first? Talk about the situation. If you notice, if you were there, Chambrell, and you noticed her screaming, what was the situation that was going on? What kind of atmosphere? What was the other child doing? Get all those details so that you can talk to her about what was going on and why it was going on and why she was reacting that way. You are going to have to talk to your children. And it's really nice to do it with the door closed so it's intimate. It's just you and them calmly. Don't be like aggressive and in their face because you're teaching them the same thing they did. You have to teach them how to communicate calmly and respectfully to each other. If you are in your kid's face all the time, that is how they learn to react, and they will react to others the same way. So you have to keep it calm yourself, talk to them calmly, smile, use manners, and respect what they have to say by listening, not interrupting, and encouraging them to come up with some solutions to the problem that you guys can put into play. That makes them feel like they're respected. Okay. Now I have to see where I was. Hold, please. So this was the when you talk to your child thing. So here's a couple other tips. Explain to your child, or even better yet, ask your child how you think that person was feeling when you were talking to them. What do you think they felt like? Were they scared? Were they frightened? Were they embarrassed? Were they angered? How do you think they felt when you spoke to them like that? And then try to explain to your child and try to help your child to think about what it feels like when you're that child that's being bullied. What do you think? Get yourself in their shoes. What do you think their whole feeling and reaction would be? You tell me. Say that to your child. You tell me what they're feeling if you have someone in your face bullying you. Reverse those roles. Then say, if I was that child, how would I react to that situation? Would I turn around and get right in that person's face? Should I turn around and get right in that person's face? What if they did that? What if they reacted back to you the way you reacted to them? Would then an all-out fight be created? Can you imagine how that kind of situation would escalate to being more and more aggressive? Is that the way to solve the problem? Heck no. If you get into a yelling argument with someone else as an adult, does anything get resolved? No, nothing gets resolved, except a lot of screaming and yelling and being mad, and nothing gets resolved. If you're arguing with someone at work and you're both screaming at each other and you're trying to solve a problem, nothing gets resolved. And use situations that you have been in to explain to your child that we all kind of get into these difficult situations, and the way we respond to them, the way we react to them, is how we will settle them. So if you react aggressively and you scream and you're in someone's face and you're bullying them or you're hitting them or you're pushing them, what is getting resolved? Nothing. Nothing, except you can be assured that a million people are not ever going to talk to you again, because no one wants to be in that situation. Okay. When you're at home, it's important to be a role model. So at home, you need to teach compassion. You need to teach calm. You need to be compassionate, respectful to your spouse or partner. Because if you guys are fighting all the time, if you're always calling names, if you're labeling each other, if you're cussing at each other, that is aggressive. Very aggressive behavior, and you are teaching your children that that is how a relationship works. Is that what you want them to learn? When they get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, do you want them to act that way? Or do you want them to have a happy, calm life? Think about it, because you role modeling your relationships is the easiest way for your children to learn how they need to act in a relationship. And if you react like a bully and you act like an aggressor, they will too. Okay. Number 7, be willing to work with and help your child any way they need help. Have their back. Be willing to talk and help them and listen and not interrupt. And then brainstorm ideas together. Don't just say, well, this is not going to happen anymore. If it happens again, you're grounded for the next 6 months. What are you teaching them by that? You're teaching them nothing but kind of being a bully. You didn't even give them a chance to discuss it. You didn't even give them a chance to learn and think of different ways to handle their emotions that are more peaceful. Talking, explaining, giving your ideas, letting them give their ideas without interrupting, with good listening skills. For both of you, listen with your eyes. Don't put down distractions. Don't hold a phone. Don't have the TV on. Talk and listen. A good listener makes the best communicator. And then when you ask questions, ask specific questions and do not accuse them. Try to get down to the bottom of it. Okay. Keep in mind that the age of your child matters. So you have a toddler, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and they're pushing kids around. Where are they learning it from? Could be anywhere. Could be home. Could be at school. Could be another kid that pushed another kid down. Could be anything because they're little. Nick says, you're always picking on you too. We love all of your idiosyncrasies, the fidgetiness. I know. Thanks, Nick. I know. I am fidgety, but I'm always fidgety. I can't help it. I like ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it. It's me. But thank you. Yes, a good listener makes a great communicator. Thanks, Glenda. Absolutely. So, see, Nick, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, toddlers. Remember, I'll remind you again, and I like to remind you of this in almost every broadcast. Why? Because it applies to everything. Remember that the human brain does not fully develop till you're 25 years old. So take that into consideration as you're speaking to your child, depending on what age they are. Toddlers don't have anything but emotion in their brain. And if they don't learn how to regulate their emotion when they are little, they will never know how to regulate, and they will lash out, and they will show all that aggression, because if they're angered, if they're mad, if they're frustrated, if they're disappointed, they're just going to react because they never learned how to self-regulate. Your job as parents is to teach your child how to regulate their emotions. Okay. This is important, guys. It's all important. But this is important because people get embarrassed about this. There is nothing wrong with getting help. I'm a parenting coach. I help parents gain the tools and the skills that they need to parent at a higher level. If your child is having a really difficult time with bullying or with their mental state or with dealing with life, you may need like a therapist, a psychiatrist. There are all kinds of people. Consult your pediatrician, your doctor, get recommendations, work with a coach. Whatever you need to do, guys, reach out for help with someone who can help you. It is not embarrassing. It's actually a sign of, wanting to be better educated and wanting to grow. Personal development. Don't be embarrassed that you're reaching out for help. We all need help at one time or another in life. Life goes on for many decades. Stuff is going to throw you. Stuff will confuse you. You may wind up where you never thought you'd wind up. I remember when my son got caught smoking pot, weed, now called weed, in the bathroom at school. And next thing I know, I'm sitting in a police department waiting for him to be arraigned, whatever they call it, waiting for my husband to arrive, he's actually my stepson, but he lives with us, waiting for my husband to get there. And I remember thinking, well, now here's a place I never thought I'd be as a parent. You never know where you'll be. Take it in stride. We all need help once in a while. I'll definitely be re-listening to this and taking notes because you're giving so much gold here. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. I'm very grateful for you and your participation in this broadcast. So guys, when you need help, if you feel like your child really is bullying and is kind of past where you know how to help them, then get help. You certainly don't want to ignore it. It's not going to get better. If you have a problem, reach out for help, because if you don't reach out for help, the problem will increase and it will get worse and worse. And whoever is affected by that problem will be further affected by that problem, whether it's the recipient or it's the one giving. So get help. Reach out from whoever you want. I'm not saying just reach out for me. I might not be the appropriate one in a certain situation. Reach out for whoever will help you. And if you don't know where to start, talk to the school counselor. They have lots of referrals for you. If you want to message me, but I won't know, all the things in your area. So reach out. There's a lot of helplines. There's all kinds of things you can get help with. Your police department will offer you help without giving them information if you feel like it's going to be detrimental to you or your child. Okay. This is really important. It's all really important. I wouldn't put it here if it wasn't really important. Okay. So there are lots of muscles in the human body, and two of them we forget to exercise as parents. And they're two of the most important muscles. They're not the brain. They're not the femur. They're not the thigh muscle. They're not your calf muscles. They're not your humerus. They're none of those muscles. They are the disappointment muscle and the waiting muscle. Sorry, I forgot what I called it. So the disappointment muscle, I'll try to speak, is a big one. Kids don't always need to get their way, because welcome to life when things don't always go your way. You have to exercise that disappointment muscle on a regular basis when necessary, because otherwise, how will they learn to deal with disappointment as it comes their way and they get older and older and move forward and move forward in life? Exercise their language and speech muscle. Okay. Disappointment's huge, because that's why a lot of people wind up drinking, or they wind up doing drugs, or they wind up getting huge, how am I doing so far? It's why they get depression. It's why they just fall apart. They go into beds. They don't want to get up. They quit jobs because they never learned how to deal with disappointment. And disappointment, sadly enough, shows its face often in life. They have to learn that if they're disappointed or they make a mistake or something doesn't go their way, it's actually a blessing. It's a blessing because you get to re-examine it. You get to tweak it. You get to find a new path to reach whatever goal it is you're trying to reach. So really, disappointment is a blessing. Mistakes, have fun with them. Let your children know that that's just life. Sometimes things go your way and sometimes they don't. And when they don't, so we figure out some other way to go. That's how kids become resilient. They become flexible. They know that, this path didn't work. And you know what? I really wanted to get a much better grade. So even though I worked hard and I came out with a C, maybe there's some extra things I can do next time so that I reach my B or my A. They learn to be resilient. They learn to problem solve. They learn strategy. They learn all of that from disappointment. If they never exercise their disappointment muscle, they learn to get mad, angry. They learn to lash out. They learn to criticize themselves more than anyone. It's like when you scream at your kids all the time. When you scream at your kids, they don't turn around and hate you. They turn around and hate themselves. And I know that's not what any parent wants for their child. Life is like a box of chocolate. Exactly. Thank you, Forrest Gump and Nick Lees. Exactly. You never know what you're going to get. And if you don't teach your kids resiliency and you don't exercise those disappointment muscles and the waiting muscle, because sometimes you're not going to get it right now. Sometimes you have to work hard for it. Sometimes you have to save up for it. Sometimes you have to put it on a birthday list. Sometimes you may never get it until you get a job and you can afford it. exercise those muscles, you will be giving them the gift of a happy, satisfied life. So exercise them. Don't give in when giving in is not an option. Don't say yes if no is the only answer. Exercise those muscles. Help your kids tame their emotions and learn how to regulate them. They are not born with that ability. That's up to you to teach them. Okay. Recognize the positive that goes on. Instead of always recognizing the negative, maybe your kid has been amazing all day. And maybe, good, I hope that helps, Shembro, what I was talking about. Maybe your child was just like the best kid at school, did everything, and then for some reason they came home, they're tired, they're irritable, and they forgot to do some of their homework, and you lashed out and you're like, you're never remembering to do your homework. You never remember. You need to make a list. Why are you forgetting this? Blah, 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 blah. In their face. When you should be in their face when they're doing all that wonderful stuff, and you should be saying, you know what? Wow. I so appreciate you cleaning up your room. I didn't even ask you, and you went ahead and did it. I'm so grateful that you asked to help make dinner. I really like having a helping hand. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful that you decided to go take care of your little brother while I was exercising. Whatever it is, take note of the positive things your kids do, because they do a lot. When you only focus on the negative things, then you don't see any of the positive, and they don't think you ever see anything good they do. So they decide to start living up to the misery and the miserable human being that you think they are, because that's what they're getting from it. They're learning to hate themselves, and they're learning to live up to zero expectations. So really praise what's going right in your house. Compliment them when they do something else. Make a big deal. Say, oh my gosh, look how neat your homework is. You know, we were talking about that, and there you did it. You really worked hard. I know you worked hard because it looks great, and I'm so proud of you, and I know your teacher will be too, and I bet you're really proud of you. You didn't rush through it. You worked hard and completed it. Along with watching this, of course. Is there some kind of resource to help someone sew this all? Or do you have this laid out in a program or different format to use to help work on this all daily? Oh, Nick, you are a sly dog, you are. Well, there are lots of resources. And let me go through two more things, Nick. And then we're going to talk about the resources. I do have a program. You're right. Okay. So let me just tell you two more things so we get the tips done, and then we'll talk about where you can go to reach out for things. Other than, well, I'll review what I've already said also. Family meetings, get together once a week and talk about stuff. Because you know what? When you're all talking about stuff in a calm, fun environment, you got some popcorn, some vegetables, some spritzers, something good to drink, and it's relaxed, it's respectful, you're letting everyone talk, that's when you're going to hear things come out of your kids' mouths. And they may talk about things they're having difficulty with, like maybe there's a kid in school that they're having difficulty with, and they don't know how to handle it. That's when they're going to start bringing up things like that. So have a family meeting once a week. And spend one-on-one time with your kids. Again, with one-on-one time with your kids, you will get a lot of information that you may not get if you're all just sitting around watching TV and everyone's on their cell phones. Okay, so spend that time with your kids. It's invaluable for you. It's invaluable for them. And thank you to Nick, who suggested I should tell you some resources. So, great resources for bullying, other than me. But resources, like if you want to go somewhere in your community, like I said, reach out to your guidance counselors in your schools, reach out to police departments, hospitals, Therapy centers. There's a lot of go into your rec department, because there's a lot of special classes on things like that, as well as classes you can sign up for. If you need to take a class with your child, super fun, something creative, a crafts class, a music class, a fitness class like I teach that are parent and child, go into your rec department and find some classes that you can do together to increase the bonding between the two of you. Tune into your child. Find out what they like. What if all of a sudden they're really interested in ceramics? How fun would it be to surprise them with a ceramics class that the two of you take together? I did that with my son. It was a blast. With my daughter, we've taken classes together. Now that she's older and she has a daughter, we go on weekends together. Me, her, and my granddaughter. Girls' weekend. Do things with your kids and get involved, and the more one-on-one time you can give all the siblings, even better, because they don't feel like they're always on top of each other. That can get aggravating, you can imagine. And if you have a sibling and you are always pitted to each other, this one was older than this one, so they were expected to behave better, even though they were 7 and the other one's 4. Well, you're older than him, you should know better. Well, not really. They shouldn't know better, you know, because they don't automatically think of things. And they're also a kid. They're a kid. They're 7. They're a kid. Okay. Other resources that you can do. If you're interested, I do have a great intentional parents group called Very Intentional Parents. It is on special right now, heading up to the Black Friday countdown. It is normally $297. It's on special right now for $97 a month. And in that, you get every week, you get specialized trainings. We have open group coaching on Mondays at 7:30. Sorry, I forgot what my group coaching was, where I'm just open office. Anyone can hop on. That's Eastern time. Anyone that can hop on, ask questions. If you're the only one on, you get a whole hour of me and you, which is a lot more expensive than that monthly rate. So you can work with me at one-on-one, of course. And coming up on Tuesday, another week of our 7-day Peaceful Parenting Challenge, which will get all of this communication that is so vital rolling in your family. You will stop the yelling. The people like Nick and Chambrell that were in, and whoever else is on here, which I lost all my people. If anyone else was in here from the Peaceful Parenting Challenge a couple weeks ago, a lot of people had success in the first day. They stopped yelling in the first day. 7 days, I guarantee you, you won't be yelling. So if you're interested in that, message me. I'll send you the link that you need to sign up. Okay? Or you can put I'm in the comments. All right? People on replay, you can join it. You can join it up to Tuesday. We're starting Tuesday. So get in there, and there's a limited amount of people that can come on in. So lots of ways to work with me, individually, group, VIP group, free Peaceful Parenting Challenge. Communicate with me on Facebook. We can talk. I can find out, what's going on with you, what you want to have happen, what you're looking to do, and how we're going to get you there. Very simple. Set up a call with me. Go to workwithcelia.com. Pop yourself into my calendar. Workwithcelia.com. Okay. And it's no obligations. Just a phone call to find out what's going on. I'm in. Okay. You got it. All right. So that's what I have for you tonight. Are there any questions about anything while I do my normal sign off to you guys? Remember, if you're not in Pumped Up Parenting on Facebook, hop in there. If you want to join that challenge on Tuesday, let me know, like Nick did. He said, I'm in. If you have any friends that want to join the challenge, guys, I want to impact 1 million families this year. 1 million. And I can't do it without your help. So let's get 1 million families. Can you imagine 1 million families that stop yelling at their kids? Oh, a blessing. A blessing. Think how much happier your kids' lives will be. Think how much happier your life will be. Nobody likes yelling and screaming. Nobody likes feeling like a bully. Nobody likes being bullied. So let's stop the nonsense and make our families peaceful, calm, full of love, and lots of laughter. Because you know what? As I always tell you, laughter is the best medicine. So laugh with your kids. Have fun. Tell jokes. Okay, Chambrel. Okay, Nick. Got you in there. All right. In the meantime, guys, catch me live Tuesday and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share this out for your friends. If you have anything you need from me, let me know. And I hope you have a fabulously fun weekend. To my Jewish friends out there, Happy New Year. Happy Rosh Hashanah. This is when the Jewish New Year begins. So celebrate and have fun. And the rest of you, I will see you on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And I would tell you what we're talking about next week, but I don't have any idea yet. I haven't thought about it. But if you have something you want me to talk about, please tell me. I'm happy to go live about whatever you guys need. All right, guys. Sweet dreams to you, Nick, and everybody else. And I'll see you here next time and around the web. Bye-bye, everybody.